Welcome to the Brain Boost program. This program is designed to help you explore new ideas for activities that can help keep your brain healthy if you have early memory problems or have been diagnosed with mild cognitive impairment or very mild dementia. If you have an interest in finding new ways to maximize your brain health, this program is right for you. Look for the accompanying episode guide to help you navigate the activities in this program. I'm Dr. Greg Jica, and I'm a neurologist who focuses on taking care of patients with memory problems caused by diseases like Alzheimer's. I'm also a neuroscientist searching for new ways to slow and/or stop memory problems in aging. I've been researching ways to promote healthy brain aging for almost 35 years now, and while we continue to look for new medicines and potential cures for diseases like Alzheimer's, you should know that there's a lot you can do to promote your own brain health. Things such as mental stimulation, social engagement, physical activity, diet, and many other daily activities, all of which can make a huge impact. We hope you try some of these activities at home or come up with your own. Most of all, we want you to realize that you can take control of your own brain health through such activities.
Welcome to another episode of Brain Boost. Today's episode is all about travel. Take a few moments to reflect on some of the places you've traveled to. Do you enjoy long trips by plane or train? Or maybe an outing down back roads and scenic countryside? What about an unplanned trip to wherever your heart takes you? Traveling can be exciting. It gives you opportunities to get outside of your normal routine and explore. Did you know that changing your routine and going somewhere new is good for your brain? Some neurologists refer to it as mental aerobics. Taking in new information, planning out where to go and how to get there gives our minds a workout that will help to improve our thinking and cognition. For some people, traveling comes easy. They are able to pack their bags and explore. They love it and make it look effortless. However, traveling is not always easy. And for some, it's not feasible, and that's okay. Today, we will explore some aspects of traveling that you can enjoy without ever having to leave your home. To start, let's try this exercise. Are you ready? Close your eyes and think about a place you would like to travel. Imagine what it looks like. Are you indoors or outdoors? What sounds do you hear? Are there appetizing food smells and bustling streets? When I close my eyes, I like to imagine walking through a forest where I can hear birds and a nearby waterfall. I can smell the fresh air and feel the warm sun on my face. Sometimes traveling can be as easy as a daydream. Imagine with me that we are sitting at a sidewalk cafe, drinking coffee and people watching. Can you smell croissants baking? Do you know where we are? A city with lots of tourists, Paris, France. One of many famous places in Paris is the National Art Museum, the Louvre. I wonder what it is like to visit there. One thing nice about traveling is getting to visit new places like museums and art galleries. Some places like the Louvre have famous paintings. Think of all the famous paintings housed at the Louvre. Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci is one of the most famous paintings on display there. Did you know that the Mona Lisa has her own mailbox in the Louvre because of all the love letters she receives? There are many other beautiful paintings, including The Raft of the Medusa by Theodore Géricault, The Wedding at Cana by Paolo Veronese, and The Coronation of Napoleon by Jacques-Louis David, just to name a few. Today, more than ever, there are ways to explore art from around the world. There are online tours of museums that get you up close to the artwork. You don't have to travel all the way to Paris to enjoy amazing art. Museums can be found in cities big and small, and what they have might surprise you. Join us now as we look at some art that is in a local museum here in Lexington, Kentucky.
So the artist we're looking at here, this painting is by David Lucas, who's a Kentucky artist from Letcher County, Kentucky. A number of the paintings that he made were based on the industries and the happenings around that place where he was growing up and where he was living. So focusing on the coal industry here, which was very prominent in Letcher County. This is from 1984. This piece here is called Locomotive Taking on Water. You can see the workers bringing the water into the locomotive itself. Lots of scenes of just the work that's happening or just people living out their daily lives. And you kind of get a pretty wide view of what's going on in the scene. You can see how small the individuals, the figures are in proportion to everything else going on. Here we have a photograph by Richard A. Ross. It's called Jockey Silks, and as you can see, it's a photograph that is very kind of wide format, not quite panorama, but it's getting close to that sort of width of picture, and it's full of the jockey silks, these various very brightly colored garments that jockeys would wear while riding the horses on tracks. This is part of a series of photographs that Richard A. Ross created all around horse racing, mainly in around kind of like Louisville and some of the Kentucky area. Some of the other photographs in this series are at Churchill Downs. So we get sort of a real sense of the vibrancy of horse racing and sort of the kind of visual culture that corresponds with that.
That was great. I love hearing about the different art pieces. It's fun to learn about the artists and how their experiences influence their work. We can use that inspiration to try our hand at an art project of our own. Have you ever tried creating your own artwork? Exploring your creative side is another way to give your brain a boost. And it doesn't have to be painting. You can make your own art with chalks, pencils, pens, or even crayons. We can all use art to stimulate our brains and feel better. Some studies have shown that people who engaged in making art reported not only physical improvements, but also an improvement in mood and a reduction of anxiety and agitation. Creating your own artwork is great for our brains. Grab some of your painting supplies and join us as we learn how to use watercolors and make our own masterpiece.
Hello, today we are going to be painting this colorful watercolor sunset. So grab your paint and paper and let's begin. First I have 140-pound paper here taped on all four corners. I like to use Strathmore watercolor paper, 140 pounds. And a little masking tape to go all the way around all four corners of the paper because we're going to be using a lot of water today and we need a heavy paper that can handle it. So first thing we're going to do is draw a horizon line. So I'm going to get a ruler out and about halfway up. I like a little more sky than I like sea. But that's my personal preference. So, but about halfway, make a faint line. Don't know if you guys can see that, but you just need to draw a line to, that you can see to help us keep our horizon line straight. Now we're going to get the paper wet. I'm going to wet my brush. And we're going to go in upward motions, wetting the top part of the paper. I'm going to get close to that horizon line, but I'm not going to touch it. So we're just going to wet the paper on the top. A little more. Want the paper to be shiny. We don't want the paper to have puddles in it where fish can swim, but a nice shiny paper. And we're going to go below that line as well. Again, not touching the horizon. Up close along the line, especially in the middle. Got some there. And we're going to start first with some pink. I'm using quinacridone magenta today, but any pink will do. Get some pink out. I want a very light color pink, so I'm going to thin it out. And then going to, let me check and see there's a good color. And I'm going to just brush radials out from our center. And we're going to do the same thing below. Just going to loosely go back and forth, especially on the sides with some pink. We'll be adding more on later. And now I'm going to rinse my brush. We're going to get into the yellow. A little yellow out. We're going to go in between those radials, adding some yellow. We'll get a little more yellow out. We're going to go along the bottom, especially the middle. I'm going to just dance this color along the edge. A little more. Brush it out. Okay, I'm going to get the yellow out of my brush, rinse it out real well. We're going to add some more water again to the top, coming in from the top corners of the paper. Just wetting it some in case it's dried out while we were working. And we're going to add some blue or teal, preferably. If not, you can mix some blue and green together if you don't have teal, or just use blue. It's up to you. So I get a little blue out, and I'm coming in from the corners, adding some blue to the sky. A little more blue or teal. Come in from this corner. Just adding it to the top of our skyline. Okay, and we're going to get a little more blue and dance it along the bottom as well. Be sure not to remove all the pink, but layer over some of the pink and the yellow. A little more water. Then out my blue or my teal. Let's go over to this side, do the same thing. This nice, peaceful, longer lines. Okay, we're going to give that a moment and go back up to our sky line. I'm going to rinse my brush out real well. Let's see. I think we'll start with some blue. Already have the blue out. Let's add a little more color to our brush this time, making the color a little brighter. And we're going to put in a horizon line of clouds. So roll your brush and your paint, get a nice good point, and we're going to just make irregular shaped clouds. Making clouds in watercolor is quite fun, I believe. Colors soften, which is what you want with clouds. So we'll let that soften and expand, and we'll go to the other side and do the same thing. Just dancing along the tip of the brush. Adding some of the teal. Now I'm going to wipe that off my brush, rinse it out real well, and I'm going to soften the clouds, especially close to the horizon line, with some yellow. Warm them up a bit. So I get some yellow on my brush. Come over here and add a little bit of yellow over top of our blue, into our cloud line. Get a little more yellow, do the other side, same thing. Rinse my brush out real well and get some pink. Get some pink out. Do some more clouds on the top. Let's see here. We'll start right here. Same thing, just dancing along. I'm applying very light pressure with my brush. And again, we want to warm it up some, closest to the sun. And maybe add a little bit more teal to the top of the cloud, adding a little drama into the bottom as well. A little more pink, and add that to the bottom cloud, to the top. Turns to a nice pretty purple color. Wiping off my brush and going to the other side. I'll get more blue or teal. Make some different shaped clouds. Just want them to be irregular. And we're going to get a little yellow, warm them up on the bottom. Wipe that off. Rinse my brush. I'm going to get some more teal out. I'm going to go up here on our cloud. It's kind of faded into the background, so I'm going to liven it up a little bit. Okay. Rinse my brush out. Maybe a little bit more pink. A little dark purple on top of the cloud, farthest away from the sun. And we'll let that rest. I'm gonna wipe my brush out. And now we're gonna go to the bottom and work on our sea again. So I'm going to get some more pink paint out and get some in my brush. Maybe add a little water, loosen it up some. I'm going to go over our pink areas, not covering them all, but some of them, making them darker. So we'll have a couple shades of pink going on. And to the other side. Get some more water and paint. Just draw some wavy lines. Okay, go and wipe that out of our brush and rinse out real well and get into the teal. Do the same thing. My horizon, my skyline is not dry yet, so I'm going to avoid trying to touch it right away. I'm going to add some blue in. I'm going to pull some blue into the sides. And on some of the waves. And then let's do the other side. Again, trying to get close to my horizon without really touching it. Bringing some blue into the sides. And finally, some yellow to go down the middle to brighten up our sunshine. Or setting on the water. I'm just dancing it along, not covering up all the yellow that I did before. I want variations in the yellow. Like taking the yellow out farther as I get farther away from the horizon. Let's see. Rinse. And a little more yellow. Now I believe I'm happy where it is. Now is the hard part. We have to wait for it to completely dry before we can remove the tape. If you remove the tape while the paper is wet, the paper tends to tear. So wait about 5 or 10 minutes, make sure the paper's dry, and then remove your masking tape and enjoy your new watercolor painting of a sunset over the sea. Thank you for joining me today, and have a good one, but goodbye.
That is beautiful. The most amazing thing about art is that every piece will be different, but each holds beauty because it is something you created. Another great thing about traveling is getting to be exposed to the different sounds and music that can be found across our planet. Every culture has different types of music to experience. Music is a powerful tool that can help stimulate our brains and help boost our memories. But you don't have to just listen to music. You can make a little music of your own. Let's join a friend to see how. You can sing along with us.
My name is Sabrina Hartsfield. I am a board-certified music therapist and a current master's student at the University of Kentucky. I'm really excited to sing with you all today. While you listen to this song, think about your favorite way that you have traveled in the past. Was it by plane, train, car, ship or boat, a bus, or some other way? Pardon me, boy, is that the Chattanooga choo-choo? Track 29, boy, you can give me a shine. Can you afford to board the Chattanooga choo-choo? Oh, I've got my fare and just a trifle to spare. You leave the Pennsylvania station about 3:45. Read a magazine and then you're in Baltimore. Dinner in the diner, nothing could be finer than to have your ham and eggs in Carolina. When you hear the whistle blowing 8 to the bar, then you know the Tennessee is not very far. Shovel all the coal in, gotta keep it rolling. Woo woo Chattanooga, there you are. There's gonna be a certain party at the station, satin and lace, I used to call funny face. She's gonna cry till I tell her that I'll never roam. So Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home? So Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home? Oh, we ain't got a barrel of money. Maybe we're ragged and funny, side by side, through all kinds of weather. What if the sky should fall? Just as long as we're together, really doesn't matter at all. When they've all had their quarrels and parted, we'll be the same as we started, just traveling along, singing a song, side by side. When they've all had their quarrels and parted, we'll be the same as we started, just traveling along, singing a song, side by side. That song was all about how important it is to have someone by your side. Who in your life is by your side? Who are you thankful for to have in your life? Go and tell that person how much you appreciate them.
Music is an amazing brain-boosting tool and can help us explore so many things. We can listen to music from other countries, or we can just try listening to a different style of music than we normally do. The internet is a great way to explore different types of music. The internet can also be helpful in other ways too. Let's listen to these tips about ways we can make our lives a little easier.
You've heard of Amazon, but have you heard of Alexa? Alexa is an incredible cloud-based in-home technology. You can install an Alexa in your home and it will allow you to do multiple things. You can program it to remind you to take your medicine. You can program it to remind you to take out the trash. You can put a grocery shopping list on it, and when you get ready to go to the grocery store, Alexa will tell you everything you've added to your list. Alexa can also have a to-do list. You can program Alexa to call certain phone numbers. You may choose to program it so that when you say, "Alexa, call my daughter," it will call the number you've pre-programmed in it. This doesn't qualify for 911, but if you've fallen and want to let a loved one know, you can use this to call them. Alexa can also access the internet, so if you wanted to know about Paris, you could say, "Alexa, tell me about Paris," and you would be given information about that. Or if you wanted to know what the weather forecast was for the day, you would say, "Alexa, tell me the weather for today." Alexa can save a lot of time while helping you stay organized. You can get the technology for Alexa at Amazon or your home improvement stores.
Is the mail getting to be too overwhelming for you? Is it too hard to remember to order new checks? Are you forgetting to pay your bills on time? Automatic online bill pay may be a good solution for you. Automatic bill pay allows you to set up an account that automatically deducts the payment from your checking account or another account you deem to use. It alleviates the stress of having to remember if you've paid a bill or not. You can pay for your water, electric, gas, or mortgage, just about any type of bill electronically over the internet with automatic online bill pay.
Thanks for joining us. We hope that we have inspired you to try a few new activities or maybe even explore a new place or two. Remember, keeping your mind engaged through art, music, or exploring new things are great ways to boost your brain. Until next time.